Now compare to ignore case. Okay, this function also works like the same, the compare to function. Okay, the only difference between the compare to and compare to ignore case is that compare to does not consider the cases. Okay, this compare to function does not ignore the cases, but compare to ignore case ignores the cases, means it takes both the upper and the lower case as a different letters. Okay, this compare to ignore case will take both upper and the lower case as the same letter, whereas compare to will take both upper and lower case as a different letter. Okay, so it is another modification of the compare to function. It is used to perform the same tasks like compare to function. Okay, the only difference between it works like compare to function here. The only difference is that this function takes both upper case and lower case letter of same alphabet as a same. Okay, and the return type is int. Just like the compare to. Okay, now the syntax is int variable is equal to string 1 dot compare to ignore case, and in the bracket we will add the string 2. Okay, for example, int z equals to, suppose I take it as a here apple. Okay, dot compare to ignore case, here I take it as a apple. Okay, so here you will get the output as a 0. So why? Because the first letter of this first string is small a, whereas the first letter of second string is capital A. It takes both the small a and the capital A as a same letter. Okay, so we get the output as a 0. Now next we move to the trim function. Okay, next function is your trim. All of you are familiar with this word trim. Okay, but not in the computer sense, but in the other sense, in the humanology sense, because trim all of you do it with your hairs. Nowadays it is a fashion to trim the hairs here and there. Okay, and make it just like a shape of anything else. Okay, so similarly this trim function in computer works a little bit different of that. Okay, this trim functions removes the space from the beginning and at the end. It removes the white space from the beginning of the string as well as from the end of the string, but it will not remove the string from the middle of the string. Means if there is any space in between the strings, then the string function is not going to work at all. Okay, so this function is used to remove the blank space from the beginning and end of the string. Okay, it does not remove the space, it does not remove the space from between the string, or we can write from in between the strings, in between the string. Now the return type is a string. The return type is a string. Why it is coming as a string? Because after removing the space, the net output will be the string only. Okay. Syntax is string variable is equal to string dot string. Okay. For example, suppose I take string z equals to computer, okay, and I put a space here and then I close the bracket here, dot trim. Then you will see that in between here also I am having the space. Okay. Here also I am having the space, two spaces. Here I am having 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. Okay, but in the output what you will see that this computer will just come by the side of the screen. So you will give it as a computer without having any space in the beginning. At the end you will not be able to see in the screen because the screen is white. Okay, if it is in another color then you will be able to see. So as the screen is white you will not able to see the last one. Okay, so this is a string function. So we basically use this function to eradicate or the remove that blank space from the beginning and from the end. Okay, now next function is ends with. Okay, next function is ends with. So ends with function is basically used to check whether our string is ending with a provided suffix or not. Okay, so this ends with function takes a string as a parameter. Okay, and that parameter we take it as a suffix parameter, and it is used to check whether the given string is ending with that particular suffix or not. If the string is ending with a particular suffix, means provided suffix, then it returns you true, otherwise it returns you false. Okay, otherwise it returns you false. this function is used to check whether the given string is ending with a provided suffix or not. Okay, the return type is boolean. Return type is boolean. Okay, so if it matches, then it returns true. If the given suffix matches, then return true. Okay, otherwise false. Okay, now this suffix can be any character, it can be any word. Okay, means multiple of characters. So the syntax is your boolean variable is equal to string dot ends with W is the only capital letter. Then in the bracket we provide here the suffix string. Okay. For example, suppose I write boolean z equals to he is Rohan. Okay. Dot ends with, okay, and here I write here an. Now you can see here that an is the last two word of this particular sentence. He is Rohan. An is the last two word, so as it matches, so it will give you true. Okay, another example, boolean m equals to my name is Khan. My name is Khan. Dot ends with, okay, Saruk. Okay. So as you can see, I have provided here the suffix string as a Saruk, and here the word ending is your Khan. So as both are not matching, so it will give you false. Okay. So this is the use of the ends with. Okay. And similarly, we are having the another function, just modifying it, that is your starts with. Okay. So next function I am discussing with you, starts with. Okay, I am not writing this function starts with completely. Okay, I will just modify the definition over here. Okay, starts with only W is capital. Okay, so as the ends with checks the suffix, starts with checks the prefix. So this function is used to check whether the given string is ending. In place of ending, we will modify it. Okay, we will modify, and here we will write starting. With a provided, in place of suffix, we will write here prefix. Prefix or not. The return type is boolean, same. If the prefix given is matches, okay, if the prefix given matches, then it returns true, otherwise false. So these are the places where we have made the changes. Okay, please note it down and write the complete definitions in your copy. Now boolean variable, the syntax will be boolean variable equals to string dot, in place of ends with I will write here starts with. Starts with, okay, and in the bracket in place of the suffix string we will write here prefix string. Okay, for example boolean z is equal to he is Rohan dot ends with की जगह पे we will write here the starts with. Now as I have written here he is Rohan dot starts with, and in the bracket I have written an. Now you can see that the word sentence is not starting with the an, so it gives you false. Okay. Similarly here also the second example, this I am changing this example, okay, otherwise you will be thinking that sir is just editing the given one only. Okay, so boolean n equals to mango is a fruit dot starts with, and in the bracket I write here mango. Okay, so you can see that this particular sentence is starting with the word mango, so this gives you the output as a true. Okay, so this is the function starts with. I think you have understood the starts with and the ends with function. Now I move to the last function, that is your value of. Okay, please write it down. The value of function I already discussed with you in my online classes, the value of the parse function. Okay, so once again I am discussing with you value of function is basically used to change the string into the primitive data type. Okay, so primitive data type according to the wrapper class, okay, corresponding wrapper class it will change, okay, and only the numeric type, keep in mind, it will not change in the character type. Value of. Okay. So this function is used to change string into its equivalent or corresponding primitive data type. Okay. Okay. Only we are using here numeric type only. I am writing here numeric type only, means it can be either integer or the decimals. Okay. Written type is int, float or double. Okay. Or we can have it as a long. Syntax primitive data type then we write the variable is equal to wrapper class dot value of, and in the bracket we will add the string. For example, suppose I take string s equal to, within double quotes I write 1001, then it can be converted into integer. The 1001 is the type of integer type, so write it here int z equals to integer. Now integer is the wrapper class of the data type int. If we have already discussed, Panda sir has taught you this is the wrapper class chapter. Integer is the wrapper class of the data type int. Integer dot value of s. Okay, now this s is containing 1001 as a string. Now it will change into the number, so it will become 1001. Okay, similarly we can write string s equal to 1001 dot 23. Okay, now this can be represented as a double type, so I can write here double n equals to double. Now double is the wrapper class of the data type double dot value of is a single word, no space in between. Okay, v will be the small value of, and here I write here s. Now as you can see this in the double quotes, now this double quote will be removed and this will be a 1001.23 as a decimal number. Okay, so these are the basic string functions we are just supposed to read in the chapter string handling. Okay, now I will request you all, please practice these functions. Okay, and in my next video I will come up with the string handling programs, okay, using these functions. Till that time, please read this function, and in case any difficulty in any function, please feel free to call me. Okay, I think all of my boys of Visavashkar Boys School are having my number. Okay, feel free to call me and ask your doubt. This is a pandemic situation. Be at home, study well. Okay, thank you.